Hey, Maria back with another video. It's 3:15 p.m. It is August 28th. I believe it's Friday. Let me just check here. Yes, it is Friday already. So I decided to make another video because I'm kind of bored sitting around and doing nothing. And why am I doing nothing? Oh, that's right, because I was gang stalked. So anyway, I want to go into this video, and please forgive me. I'm going to try not to mention any names, but I'm just going to kind of speak in general terms. I understand who's involved in my gang stalking and understand who initiated it, and I think I realize why or know why. And you have no idea how frustrating it is for me to live under a system that I didn't create. And it's not me being selfish, it's not me being rebellious, it's not me being unreasonable. I don't think it's being unreasonable. Perhaps maybe you don't like my aspirations, you don't like my goals, you don't like my lifestyle, and you don't have to, okay? Some of these people that are involved in my gang stalking, I never wished you any harm. It's just that I was very busy with my own life trying to combat the bullshit that was going on in my workplace, and then coming to find out that these people were involved in my targeting. Like, what was going on in my workplace was a result of the same people that I thought I could trust, okay? Which I will tell you, once that sinks into your mind, it becomes extremely disturbing for you, for me, for anyone really. This is the issue with a lot of targeted individuals, because they realize, okay, these people that they trusted all these years have actually been working against them. And I think I know, because I've gone back in time, like during the course of my understanding of why I was in this program, okay? You start backtracking and you go back to different time periods, and then you realize that this was a continuous effort over and over and over again to involve me into their personal lives, or I should say personal problems. I didn't ask to be brought into anybody's problems, okay? I know that when the last time I was on my old Facebook account, okay, I remember trying to make contact to certain people. One of the people that I used to know when I hung out with when I was younger, as a teenager, and I think you know who I'm talking about. I remember feeling this sort of distance, like somehow or another the communication wasn't very sincere. I also sensed that something was wrong, but I just figured there was some sort of time period that that occurred in our life that kind of drifted us apart, and people grow apart. That happens sometimes, okay? So I didn't take it too personally, but as time went on, I realized, okay, this connection has something to do with my ex-family, my blood relations, and then when you're gang stalked, you realize that everyone gets brought into this program as participants, okay? I don't know really what any of the people that I used to do, I don't know much about their current life. Like, I don't know how many kids they have. I don't know where they work. Some of these people, I don't even know where they live anymore. They could have moved to different states or whatever. So I don't know, meaning I don't dig into your personal life. I don't try to manipulate your life. I don't try to impose my will or my ideas, my beliefs on anybody, okay? I'm just trying to live my life, okay? And I do believe that this particular person that I knew in high school became indoctrinated and maybe made some bad decisions and felt as though they needed me to come to God, but come to God in their way. And so they use things like employment as a form of manipulation, which is a bad idea, okay? Obviously, I've covered several videos, made several videos on this issue. Why would you, I try to understand why someone would try to obstruct the things that I need in order to survive, and I think that it's very cruel. I think it's very, it questions my how can I say this? My memory or my thoughts or my images of the people that I used to know, because apparently I don't know these people at all. Like, I had no idea that these people, including the girl I'm talking about, was capable of something like this, okay? Because all my life that I've known this person, I've always been concerned about her well-being. I've always liked this person. I've always, whatever this person wanted to do, I've always shown support. I was always enthusiastic when we did talk or whatever, communicate. So why the sabotage? Why the need to sabotage? I think when people grow up, they tend to start looking at other people's lives, and they might think the grass is always greener, or maybe because I honestly, when I think about the participation of this person, I cannot understand why. I cannot understand why she would involve herself in my life, the sabotage of my life, seeing as how she has always been what I consider to be an ambitious person, I mean, perhaps maybe, you feel as though I'm not worthy because of my problems that I've had to deal with in the past. When I was in high school, I know the bullying was there. It was very subtle, but it was quite obvious as well. So the issues that have occurred in my workplace also occurred in school. So I didn't feel comfortable there. There was like this weird form of bullying that was continuously going on in my high school years, okay? So I had problems, okay? So what I did was I made the best of what I had, and I had to keep going forward. And it's as simple as that, okay? I never asked for anyone to critique me or somebody to give me their advice or anything like that. And it's not that I don't appreciate advice, because if I did need advice, and there's been times where I have consulted books, pamphlets, people who've written articles on their own experience that talked about different methods of advancing people's lives projects or whatever. So it's not that I'm walking in with blinders on. I'm doing the best I can, okay? But when I go into a workplace, I shouldn't have to deal with the bullshit that I've dealt with, okay? Or going to job interviews that are a waste of my time, okay? Obviously, when you are out of work, okay, you don't have the ability to go out and spend shitloads of money and try to, go here, go there, go everywhere. It's not possible, okay? It's just not possible. So it's inconsiderate on your part to make me waste my time for any reason. Also, I do think that there's been this attempt to try to conform me or change me in a way that they would prefer to see me, so that I can be. Why? Because the thing is, I'm never going to fit in with you. I'm never going to fit in with your crowd. Even if I change the way I dressed or whatever, I'm never going to fit in with this crowd. Why? Because what I feel to have happened, it's something that went too far. It's like you can't make up for all the years that you've caused me pain. You can't make up for all the time that I've wasted in my life for, just because you felt like it. Like, I feel as though this is an extreme form of abuse, that I can't overlook, okay? I can't overlook it. I also believe that, and I suspect, okay, that what happened in 2008, I wrote a letter, or an email or message, whatever, to the guy that I had a crush on in high school. And I do believe that this could have sparked this whole outrage, okay, which that was over, that was in 2008, okay, and this is probably, I believe this is like the start of this new wave of harassment and intense bullshit going on at my work, okay, because it's always been there, okay. But when I wrote this particular person in 2008, okay, things were going okay at my job. I mean, they weren't great, but they were okay. But it seems as though this happened right around that time, okay. And then when I started working at the farmer's place, something weird happened over there where these people were acting like ridiculous, okay. So when I was going back and looking and thinking about when did all this bizarre stuff, like even if I was in a different town, whether I was visiting or working or maybe just shopping or whatever it was, I felt as though people knew who I was, okay? So I know Facebook had a huge role in it, like, because you can reach and influence a lot of people through that means, okay? because it's like everybody uses it. Like, I'm people over in the Bahamas know who I am, okay? And I'm not comfortable with that. You know, what people think is a joke is actually a very serious life-threatening issue. And I feel as though these people who got involved were very irresponsible, socially irresponsible, and put me in a delicate situation. Okay, so I dealt with all kinds of bizarre stuff going on. Now, going back to the guy from high school. Yeah, you know, growing up, I had a huge crush on this person. Okay, and I don't know if, because I'm backtracking, was he somebody who was stalking? Did he actually stalk me, or what's coming to my mind? Is it just gossip or speculation that's going on? I don't know if he's involved or not, okay? For sure. I'm just thinking, I do believe he has something to do with it, okay? Now, if he does have something to do with it, you know, I'm going to say right now, I would appreciate it if you not interfere with my work, okay? I mean, yeah, you know, you might be cute, you might be this, you might be that, but I would appreciate it if you stay out of my work. Okay, because the problem with it is when you deal with, you know, putting a woman's goals on hold in order to have some sort of relationship, or pretending that you're having a relationship with them, whether you're doing this or not. Okay, the problem with it is that, let's just say, for example, you set me up in a job. Okay, so you set me up in a job with the goal of eventually coming into my life, right? Okay, so then you end up you do come into my life, okay? But who's to say that once we actually start to know each other, because really, keep in mind, I don't know you that well. What I've known about you is very little. I knew that, you know, you were very cute in high school. I knew that I had a crush on you that lasted for very many years. I knew that I used to make a great effort to see you and see what you were doing. But I never really had a conversation with you. Okay, so let's just say, for example, I'm sitting here working this job that you assigned for me, right? And then all of a sudden you actually physically appear into my life, okay? So then we get to know each other. I mean, we really get to know each other. And you don't really like my shit, and I don't like yours. Okay? Regardless of how cute you are, okay? So then, now what? Now I'm going to lose my job, right? Because that's pretty much how it goes. Because I was only there for that particular reason. You see what I'm saying? So where does that leave the woman? That leaves a woman in a very, very vulnerable position. Okay? And so it's a silly thing to do. If you are indeed involved, I would say this, that I'm not comfortable with somebody who wants to connect with me on that level. Because it's a form of control. Okay? It's a form of control that I look at as abusive. Okay? Now you see me, I'm living with my son. All right, I'm living with my son, okay? I'm a grown fucking woman, and I'm living with my son, which is ridiculous, okay? I mean, I'm very grateful that he was kind enough to, you know, take care of his old mom. But really, you know, it shouldn't be that way. I've never dreamed of relying on anyone other than myself, okay? And, you know, I really don't know what else to think about that, really. But, you know, I feel as though this situation should have never, ever entered my workplace. Now, when I remember having a crush on this person and going and sitting quietly at this little snack bar watching him, okay, I don't recall interfering with his work, like setting him up at jobs or hovering. Of course, I was too young to even understand that sort of thing, okay? But I never would have interfered with somebody's life in that manner, okay? Also, going back to this particular group that's involved with my targeting, perhaps you feel as though I'm not worthy of going through with my goals because, you know, after all, you know, some of you are more formally educated with your brick and mortar colleges and whatnot. Well, some people have to get on with what they have, okay? And you just have to work with what you have, okay? And hope that you can gain more. Okay, but I do try to put an effort in and demonstrate that I know and I'm knowledgeable about my job. There are all kinds of people here in this community. Okay, some people don't have any fucking formal education at all. Some people just have high school and that's it. Okay, and they're working. Okay, and so I know that I feel as though it's a form of competition that I don't really appreciate. I don't appreciate it at all. I mean, it's like you can pretend that you're my friend, but your actions show something different. Okay, I honestly feel like not even offended. It's more like I feel a sense of terror when I think of the people that I used to know, because this is not a behavior that I would expect from people who call themselves my friend. Okay? So please, I have enough issues to deal with, okay? Being a black woman in a predominantly white area, okay? That's already a situation that is very difficult, okay, to get your foot in the door, to, make it in this world, okay? I don't need a circus show behind me. I don't need, this bullshit that you guys created. This is something that you created. And, and yes, I do. I mean, I'm not going to take responsibility. And I know it sounds offensive to some of you because you're saying, well, you did this, I didn't do anything. And if I did do something, I have the right to do that. Like, I have a right to go for walks if I want to. Okay? That has nothing to do with the cute guy from high school. It has sure as hell has nothing to do with my ex-husband. It has nothing to do with it. It means I'm fucking tired of being cooped up in the house and I needed to get out of the house because it's boring as hell in here. But if I wanted to have a tone body that was just something that was worthy of being placed in Sports Illustrated, then that would be my prerogative, okay? But obviously I don't, okay? Because I have a lot of flab on these arms here, right there, that I don't really give a flying fuck about, really. It's not that important to me. But, I also know that I'm constantly being monitored at my job. People are watching what I'm eating. It's ridiculous, okay? I can assure you this has nothing to do with the cute guy from high school. It certainly doesn't have anything to do with my ex-husband. It's just something that I personally believe in, okay? Now, as far as your religion is concerned, I don't know what to tell you. At this point, I don't feel any obligation. I never felt any obligation, but I don't have any sort of obligation to you. Like, to make me convert into a religious belief system that I am not enthusiastic about. Okay? And generally when people are that gung-ho and they're using issues of force to try to manipulate you into a religion, that religion is not meant to gain any sort of spiritual insight. It's mainly done to control, because if you join the religion, well, then you're going to have to follow the doctrines and the belief system of this particular religion, and this is where you start gaining control. Okay, religion should never be used when it comes to work. Okay, that's why it's written into the law. Okay, because you can literally abuse a person by doing so. Okay, so if I'm not comfortable with somebody who wants to control my life, any aspect of it, and it's not rebellion. What it is it's a fact. It's a matter of me not being in a situation where I can be abused. Okay, and personally, I think anybody who's going to set up fake job interviews and waste my time, that right there is a form of abuse, especially knowing the financial situation that I'm in. It just doesn't make any sense. So please exit my life. Exit it. Like, I honestly don't feel like after all of this that there's really anything worth hanging on to. Like, my memories of the people that I used to know are not good. I mean, even though I feel as though at the time when I was younger, I had good times. Like, the laughing, the AM PM jokes, the whatever, So now I'm looking at that was just a facade. Like, this is just some persona that they put on. Or maybe, they didn't feel like they were in competition with me back then. Okay, but now as I'm an adult, they feel threatened by who I've become. And this is ridiculous because I would have never done something like this to you. Ever. Okay? Like, I would never have come into my heart to do something like this. And I do understand issues relating to gang stalking. I do understand issues relating to human trafficking, blacklisting people, manipulating things. And a lot of women get put in this program for that reason, okay? I am not somebody who's out there looking for a man. I'm not looking for a man, okay? Now, do I think Stephen Lyles is cute? Yes, I do. I think he's a very cute guy, okay? But I'm not comfortable with that kind of behavior if he is indeed involved in my targeting, if he is indeed involved in my work and arranging my work and setting up these fake job interviews and everything else. That stuff needs to stay out of the workplace. It just does, okay? It doesn't belong there. You know, it's like, you know, I've been out of work for, God, almost 8 or 9 months, okay? And nobody should obstruct somebody from seeking employment. That, you know, that's against the law, okay? But when you obstruct people from employment, and feel it, and then act as if they have no right to complain about it, you know, you might be thinking, oh, well, she's staying with her kid, and, you know, she's fine. You have no right to say what's fine and what's okay and what's not. Okay? If that's something I don't want to do, then I shouldn't have to do it. You know what I mean? And I shouldn't have to be stuck in a network that I didn't ask to be a part of. You know? I don't like the fact that I have to feel differently towards people. I don't. You know, because I've always would have preferred to go to my deathbed thinking highly of these same people that I used to know. Like I always wanted to think highly of these people. You know, and it's sad because you think, okay, this person was willing to dig your grave. This person was willing to try to discredit me and try to make me lose job opportunities. Okay, this person was willing to take my goals away for their own selfishness. I would have, I mean, like, seriously, when you realize that this is what these people have done, then it changes everything. It changes absolutely everything. No, I'm not close to my ex-family, okay? My family are the ones who initiated all of this bullying, okay? They have some serious problems that they need to deal with on their own. That's not my problem to fix them. You know, I'm over the age of 18 and I choose not to be a part of the same family structure that has caused me so much grief and is responsible for putting me in this situation. I'm not the one who needs to change. It's them, and that's up to them. Whether they change for the good or they change for the bad, I don't know, because in my mind, I'm washing my hands of them. You know? I think that this issue was something that I personally believe is unforgivable. Now, I understand. You're supposed to forgive. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. You can forgive to a certain degree. Like, my forgiveness is, I want to forget these people exist. It's too much for my mind. It's too much. You know? And, you know, I would have had a better life without them. And I would have. Okay, and you tend to, I believe the friend that I used to know in high school, you know, probably is encouraged by my ex-family because she probably may have always been. She could have been a perp all my life. I don't know. You know, my ex-family does not understand boundaries. They don't understand, you know, I'm the kind of person, I have to be sincere when it comes to having friendships and stuff, you know, but they will use people to come into your life and betray you or whatever. It's nothing for these people because they don't think about that sort of stuff, okay? So I don't want to be a part of your network, all right? I don't want to be a part of your network, okay? But you've created so much bullshit in this environment, it's not even funny. You know, people are talking and they're gossiping about me, which I understand, okay? When you're a victim of gang stalking, people speculate, they gossip, but the gossip has started because of you. Constantly picking me apart. I don't even know what to say. Really, I don't, okay? But I'm not, people probably think, well, I don't know what they think. I think I have my ideas of what they think, but I wouldn't have this circus show if it wasn't for you guys, okay? And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be hateful. I'm not trying to be whatever. I'm just saying is, could you please back out of my shit? Because I don't have time for this garbage. You know? And that's, I mean, that, how else, you can't say it anymore in any polite way, okay? All I know is that I've been traumatized multiple times. I've dealt with jobs that were pieces of shit. And it's not that, okay, anybody, I mean, people, sometimes you take jobs that are less than what you're actually qualified for, okay? But the environment was shitty. There's always this bullshit, this, you know, this silent bullshit going on. People looking at what you're eating and blah, 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 blah. I don't need that. I don't need that. And I don't want that. Okay? But whatever I put in my mouth, I can assure you it has nothing to do with people that I haven't physically seen. Okay? Like, I don't see the guy from high school. He is not physically present anywhere in my vicinity. I have not seen him on in person. I don't speak with this person on the telephone. I'm divorced. I don't communicate with my ex-husband. So none of this has anything to do with anybody. I'm just living my life. Okay? But there's always this issue of, you know, I'm sorry, you know, if you don't believe in my abilities to do my job. I never asked you for anything. I moved here to this community because I realized this community, at the time, I wanted to stay close to my piece of shit family that I didn't know that was that big of a piece of shit at the time. But I figured I'd come down here because the jobs were more plentiful here. Okay, and the cost of living was like right up my alley. For somebody who struggles financially, you know, the rent was pretty cheap back then, okay? Back in the early 2000s, I'm sorry, the 2000s. Actually, I've been scoping this place out since the 90s, but the early 2000s, you know, I used to live in Roseman, and I would get the paper, and I would see the jobs listed, and I would see, like, the rent prices, and I thought, you know, this isn't a bad idea. So I came out here. And I came out here on my own. I don't recall ever saying, hey, you know, could you set me up with a job? Can you do this? Can you do that? No, I just figured, okay, I need to move over here because where I was living in Lancaster, if you don't want to work for the aerospace industry, I don't know, if you don't want to be working in like, as a, I wouldn't be able to work for the school district. But, you know, those are the main jobs that were there at that time. So I came here. And I don't recall ever asking anyone for help. And if you think that you helped me, you haven't helped me. Okay, you've only caused me problems. All right? Please leave me alone. That's all I'm saying, is just leave me alone. All right? Go on with your lives. Don't bother me. You know? I don't want to deal with that sort of stuff. I don't want to be set up into jobs, you know, with this expectation that I'm supposed to be with somebody. Because like I said, what if that doesn't pan out? You know, and I'm a little uncomfortable with being with somebody that would put me in a program, that would want to put these sort of stipulations on me. That is like the recipe for abuse. I'm not saying that this cute guy from high school is abusive. I'm just saying it's a bad choice. Okay, it's a very bad choice. Okay, and it communicates to me that you, if you are indeed involved, that you don't have the confidence to just come right out, either call me on the phone, message me on Facebook, or, you know, whatever. If you got something to say, say it. But don't play this shit behind the scenes, because I don't have the nerves for it. Okay? I literally don't have the nerves for it. Meaning, it's annoying to me, because I have things I need to take care of. I left the farmer's place 7 years ago. Okay? And that 7 years was critical. Meaning, like, I had plans that I wanted to do, and I was constantly being diverted from my plans because of other people's selfishness. Okay? This is my life. Okay? You don't have to like it. I don't have to like your life. I don't even know what you guys are doing. Okay? But I don't appreciate you bringing all these people involved in my work, forcing me into a network, placing people in positions to quote unquote have authority over me. Nobody has authority over me. Not legally, okay? And I don't want to be associated with anybody that would abuse me in that manner. Okay? And to think that I'm just going to shrug it off and think, oh, they made me waste years of my life, and oh, we can still be friends. No, we can't. We can't. You know, I mean, that's realistic. You know, and just because I'm not hanging out with anybody doesn't mean that I'm desperate. I'm not going to allow myself to lower my standards for people who only want to abuse me, because this is fucking abuse, is what it is. You know, No, I mean, I may be lonely, but I'm not desperate. Okay? I don't believe in lowering my standards to be with people who want to abuse me. Now, anyway. So, I think I've said what I needed to say. I don't want to be a part of your entourage, your network. I don't want your religious views. I don't want people like speculating. I'm tired of people speculating about if I decide to get up and go for a walk or whatever. You know, this is bullshit. It's got nothing to do with work. Okay? They worry about me, you know, going to work and mingling with the opposite sex. Let me ask you something this, okay? Obviously, I don't, okay? But if I did, why would that matter? And this is what makes me think, okay? Because I know when you're a single woman, they're always concerned because they usually have somebody waiting that they want to line you up with. I don't need to work in that manner. People have to work. They have to work sometimes with other people, sometimes with people of different races, to be from different religions, sometimes the opposite sex. That's the work environment. This is what you have to do. It's part of life. You know? And you make people my enemy. You make people turn against me for your own issues. Okay? I consider myself to be a likable person, you know? I think my jokes are funny. I fucking think they're hilarious, okay? Whether you like them or not. My jokes are funny. Okay? My jokes are funny. Okay, but, you know, I'm the kind of person I preferred to work, at the time at least, preferred to work with other people, okay? But somehow you've made me look like I'm some sort of social cancer because I don't want to be a part of your cult. And that's what it is, the cult. Okay? Anytime you behave in such a manner that you're using force and you're using manipulation or whatever, it's a cult. Okay? But anyway, I don't want to argue about your little religious dogma or whatever, but I do want to state that you don't have the right to continue doing what you're doing to me. Okay? I don't want to have a relationship with my ex-family, and they should know why. Okay? They created this issue. Okay, and then I have my so-called friend from high school who feels as though she wants to throw her 2 cents in, which I don't understand why. Okay, because from far as I knew, I thought she was pretty successful. You know, I think she worked in education. I think she does like music. She's a musician. She's got shitloads of friends. She knows people. She does things. She has an active life. Why are you in my shit? Is it just for your own fucking entertainment? Because I honestly don't understand. You know, all I know is that I'm a person who was I was going to work, minding my own business, and bullshit fucking happened. You know, bullshit I didn't ask for. You know, I'm a person who works hard, and I work hard because I have to. Okay? What I feel as though I missed out on, I have to make it up all the time. You know, and I do my best to try to prove to myself, to my employer, that I do a good job, and I don't need your bullshit. I don't need it at all. Okay? And it really, I get tired of people thinking that I have to explain or justify myself. I don't have to explain or justify myself, especially people that I haven't seen in that many goddamn years. You know, especially since, you know, once you leave high school, people do different things, you know, and I can't even understand why you would be interested in anything that I would be doing. I can assure you, you know, I think I've lived a decent life. I mean, I can't say I'm an angel, but, you know, I would say, especially in my older years, there's not much mischief that I can actually get myself involved in, you know. But anyway, I think that's pretty much really all I wanted to say. You know, it's like I feel as though my employment opportunities have been messed up because of this issue. And people trying to force their lifestyle on me. I don't want your lifestyle. And it's not. I have no idea what exactly your lifestyle is. But I do get an idea that people want to bully me. You know, they don't like the way my hair, they don't like my wigs, they don't like this, they don't like that. I'm sorry, but you know what? Stay out of my shit. Okay? I'm not going to change my life just because, whether it's for the guy from high school or not, okay? If the guy from high school was that serious, the guy from high school would call me. Okay? And he would have a conversation with me about my future plans, okay? This shit goes behind the scenes. I'm just not feeling it. I don't like it. Okay, and quite frankly, the very fact that I made all these videos and I've stated that I don't like it and they continue to do this bullshit, I'm not comfortable with it. Okay, I'm just not. So, I mean, people think that I'm willing to put up with everything. I'm not willing to put up with everything. I don't care who it is. I mean, I just don't. You know, my own mother, I really don't give a fuck. My own mother fucking threw me out or turned her back on me because I didn't want to be a part of this stupid cult. The cult of getting a job. Meaning like, oh, you know, oh, you should go back to church. No, I don't like the churches, okay? I'm sorry, I don't. I'm not saying there's all churches are bad, but the ones that I went to were kind of ridiculous, I thought. You know, I take my spirituality seriously, okay? And I don't believe that, based on my interpretation of the scriptures, that this is the right thing to do. Okay? You don't devote yourself to God for material issues. You know, it's not about that. But anyway, I think I said it enough. I just had to vent this really quick because I need to strategize my life. I mean, I need to get myself prepared to step out into the world. I can't live like this anymore. Because I wake up every day and it's the same shit. It's boring. I don't like being at home, okay? And I know there's been speculation. Oh, she should work at home. I should work at home. Why? Because you create a social issue that you created. I'm tired of paying the price for all the shit that you've created, okay? Oh, you need to change your lifestyle so you fit in. I'm never going to fit in, okay? When you talk about working, when you talk about working with different people, people go to work and they work together, okay? Whether you like SpaghettiOs and they like, you know, I don't know, manicotti, whatever, okay? People are going to be different, okay? But it's a working relationship. And that's it. People don't have to like my music. They don't have to like my stuffed animals. They don't have to like my arts and crafts. They don't like anything. They just don't. Okay, but what you guys have done, you've initiated a form of bullying. Okay? And that's what it is. It's bullying, you know, plain and simple. Okay, I don't want to go to any more of your job interviews. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to communicate with any of those job boards anymore because I'm done with that shit. And anybody contacts me out of the blue, I'm going to tell them to fuck off. In the most professional way I possibly can. Minus the fuck off. Because I don't want to deal with it anymore. Okay, I don't want to work any more of your jobs. Okay, I see other women have rights. I deserve the same rights. I deserve to be able to work in a work environment where I feel happy. Okay, I have never experienced happiness in my work. And if it was always for brief moments. And then they would notice that I was feeling content and they'd come in, they'd start their shit again. I don't want it anymore. Okay, please back the fuck away from me. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I'll be back with another video later. For all TI, stay safe.